What is up, everybody? My name is Anthony, aka Toe14. I am the coach of the Maine Red Clawitzers, and today I am bringing you my Week 8 match of the NES versus Bruce, coach of the Golden State Luxrays. Now, if you missed my team builder, the link will be in the description down below. And heading into this match, I was expecting a lot of different things. I was expecting things like Cresselia. I was expecting either the Mega Venusaur or the Whimsicott to come. Suicune possibly, but not to that extent. But the team that you see in front of you with he brings Thundurus, Mega Venusaur, Hitmonlee, Clawitzers, Darmanitan, and Fortress. I was shocked that I did not see no Cresselia, no Suicune, so I just had to deal with Mega Venusaur as a bulky Pokemon. I knew that, also looking at his team, that I needed to keep, the main thing I had to do, keep Druddigon healthy for the Hitmonlee and the Darmanitan. I had to make sure that Nidoqueen can come in, do as much damage as possible. Gardevoir has a little bit less of a role, as it was mainly here as Taunt Toxic won't serve any purpose in this battle simply because there's no Cresselia, no Suicune doing any Calm Mind shenanigans. Nevertheless, I figured that my lead would still be Nidoqueen simply because he had no real switch-ins to Nidoqueen. I also could have led with Druddigon and got my rocks up early, but I couldn't be 100% sure to keep him there because he did bring the Fortress. So I figured that Nidoqueen was my best lead at the time. Potential leads for him, he can lead off with the Fortress, get up his rocks early. He can lead off with the Darmanitan. He can lead off with Venusaur, trying to get the Mega Evolution up, and probably if he's running Earthquake on Venusaur to hit my Nidoqueen, that's also a thing. So as we play this replay, as we go along with this battle here, as I lead off with my Nidoqueen, he leads off with Darmanitan, which is a good lead on his part simply because he can freely get Flare Blitz up on my he can Flare Blitz anything on my team for a good amount of health. Manaphy can switch in, but it doesn't want to take any damage. Druddigon is my response to the Darmanitan 100%, so my immediate play is to go directly into my Druddigon here on the potential Flare Blitz. He goes for the U-turn here, he takes Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet damage, so he takes more damage than he does. He switches directly out into his Fortress. From here, I'm just thinking, okay, we can just trade. I could trade rocks with Fortress here, but he would actually win because he could Rapid Spin, and rack up Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet damage, which is something I also considered. But I just wanted to gauge to see how much a Fire Punch would do to a Fortress, just because I needed this thing worn down so that way I can come in later with my Nidoqueen and just take it out with a Flamethrower. So instead of going for rocks here, I decided to go for Fire Punch to gauge the damage. Unfortunately, what I didn't expect is his Fortress actually goes first in this matchup. So he's running speed on his Fortress to outspeed my Druddigon. He gets his rocks up, he hard switches into the Venusaur as I go for the Glare. So Paralyzed Mega Venusaur is nice. I now go into my Blissey here. He could have potentially been a Sludge Bomb me, and he goes for Leech Seed. As I said in the team builder, he could be Leech Seed Mega Venusaur. Good play on his part by going directly for Leech Seed, and I had nothing that can take it. He then goes out into Clawitzers, and I just throw up a Wish. And I'm trying to get my Druddigon healthy, go back into my Druddigon, but I didn't want to risk taking a Will-O-Wisp. So I decided to go directly back into my Nidoqueen, just in case he wants to Will-O-Wisp me. He decides to go for a Toxic, so that was a good play on my part. I get that Wish up, and now he has to go for a free Shadow Ball on his team. I get a crit. And it turned out the crit did matter on the Clawitzers, so we have a 6-5 lead. He goes out into Venusaur. I don't want to risk any Earthquake shenanigans, so I go back out into Blissey. He Leech Seeds me again. So the Leech Seed damage is starting to rack up. He ain't taking damage, so I'm just going to throw up another Wish. He just goes for the Sludge Bomb here. I'm just trying to keep my Blissey healthy for the Thundurus. After that, it serves no real purpose, as I have other ways to deal with this Mega Venusaur. So I just go for the Soft Blow here, make sure I'm at full health. Taking the Leech Seed damage. So now I can't really do anything to this Mega Venusaur, so I'm just going to throw up a Wish one more time, trying to get my Druddigon in as I get poisoned, but it doesn't matter because I have Natural Cure. So now I decide to hard switch. I don't go on the Druddigan here because I didn't want to get poisoned by Sludge. So I go back out into Nidoqueen. He goes for the Energy Ball, probably predicting me to go into Manaphy, which I wouldn't have done in the first place, even though I have Psychic. I just go for the Sludge Wave here. It does 47%. Unfortunately, he gets fully paralyzed this turn. I go for Sludge Wave again, almost takes it out, and he gets paralyzed again. Again, unfortunate. So instead of going for Sludge Wave, I go for Shadow Ball just in case he wants to switch. Does 10% to this Fortress. So now I go for the Flamethrower, doesn't knock it out, and then he decides to go for Explosion, takes out my Nidoqueen, which was a good play, as Nidoqueen's job was just to wall break. He goes back out into Mega Venusaur. I go into Druddigan. And at this point here, he lost his Fortress. So I could do one of two things here. Either I go for Fire Punch and take out this Mega Venusaur, or I go to get my Stealth Rock, get Stealth Rock up, and let him basically get up the Synthesis for free unless he gets fully paralyzed again. Stealth Rock really helps me with the Thundurus. It wears down the Darmanitan, and if he's potential, if it was like a Focus Sash Hitmonlee, but when I saw Hitmonlee, I already knew it was Fake Out Unburdened, so I didn't bother with that. So I decided that Mega Venusaur was not big of an issue, but enough to the point where I prioritized beating this Venusaur over getting up my rocks. So I went for Fire Punch this turn, just take out the Mega Venusaur. So now we're up 5-3 as he now goes out into his Thundurus. My play is just go into Blissey as it's the only reason why it's here. Unfortunately, since it's not at full health, I can't take this Thunderbolt, which is unfortunately a 2 KO as he has Life Orb Thundurus. I was hoping he was leftovers, so had to sack off Blissey this turn. So this allows me to get a free switch into my Gardevoir. So at this point, I trace with Define, which was surprising as he wasn't Prankster. I go for the Hyper Voice here. He has Flash Cannon, doesn't knock me out. Thank you, HP investment. As Hyper Voice does take out the Thundurus, this now gives him a free switch into the Hitmonlee. I knew he was going to go for Fake Out, so I just go directly into my Druddigan. I know I won't live any 2 hits from this Hitmonlee. Does take Rough Skin Rocky Helmet damage. He goes for the Earthquake, which I wasn't expecting, but he did do a good job of avoiding my any more Rough Skin Rocky Helmet damage. And now this was basically the play that decided how the match ended. So I could have done one of two things in this turn. I could have either A, went out to Manaphy, just click Psychic, and then hope that his Darmanitan is not Scarfed, which more or less it would be. Or my second option would be to go to Scolipede and risk him not having Stone Edge or Blaze Kick, as Scolipede actually won after if I got up a speed boost, as it would have outsped the Darmanitan, and from the range of HP it was at, a Rock Slide would have taken it out. Instead, I decided to go to Manaphy here and then hope that I can just take a hit from Hitmonlee, get rid of it with Psychic, and then try to work around the Darmanitan, and just hope and pray that for some reason it wasn't Choice Scarf, which in the back of my mind I had to figure it was Choice Scarf. So, like I said, it was either risk the Manaphy or risk the Scolipede play, and I decided to go for the Manaphy as this turn I just go for Psychic. As he clicks Close Combat, does not knock me out, doesn't do a good amount of damage. I just go for the Psychic, I take out the Hitmonlee, and it's now 3v1, and now he just has a Darmanitan, which can just come in and click Flare Blitz over and over again on my team, as I have nothing left to switch into Flare Blitz. I had Scolipede. I really wish I brought Protect in this battle over Swords Dance, as Protect would have ensured I outsped Scarf Darmanitan. Sadly, that was not the case, and Darmanitan just picks up the last 3 kills in the battle, and Bruce ends up taking the battle in a close 1-0 win in his favor. Could I have played that differently? Towards the end, yes. I could have went out to Scolipede, risked him not having Stone Edge. He could have been Poison Jab for the Gardevoir. But as I saw Earthquake, he probably would have either been Poison Jab or Knockoff if Scolipede took either of those hits, I would have went for poison jab, knocked out the skull, knocked out the Hitmonlee, goes out in the Dark Manon's hand, I clicked Rock Slide, and I would have won. Potentially won, but that's a hypothetical scenario. I also could have missed Rock Slide, which also would have sucked. So the battle, it was a close game nonetheless. I mean, I'm a little bit upset with the way I played at the end there, but at the same time, my opponent played well. I'm not going to take anything away from Brutes at all. He did have some things go against him with the double para on the Mega Venusaur, the crit and the Papabrigus, which the crit unfortunately did matter as Shadow Ball from the Life Orb, modest max special attack, sheer force, Neoqueen did about 53 to 65%. So it would have been a 2-hit KO nonetheless, but he probably would have gotten up like a Toxic Spikes or like a Will-O-Wisp or Shadow Ball, one of those things. And I wasn't expecting a speed-invested Fortress to outspeed my Jordan either. So that's pretty much long and short of it. It's been, the season's been very, very awkward to say the least. We've now been alternating wins and losses for the past 5-6 weeks now. I mean, we're still in a pretty good position. We're 5-3. I mean, with a close 1-0, I'll take a loss, no problem. But I need to like get back into a winning streak here. I need to think over my plays before I make them. I feel as though I was a bit hasty about decision making at the end there. I should have expected his Darman to be scarfed 100%. I don't know why I was thinking it was choice ban. As I also don't understand. It also threw me off guard with the whole Defiant Thunderous, which is why I was thinking it was choice ban. He could have been like T-Wave support. He could have Thunderwave my Pokemon, Thunderwave my Scolipede, and then he outspelled with a choice banded Flare Blitz, which would have destroyed everything on my team. Nevertheless, we are now 5-3, differential of 6. We're still in 4th place though, so the loss doesn't really hinder us that much. But we will bounce back next week. Our next opponent is a new coach who recently joined a few weeks back. He took over for a team that unfortunately the previous coach had to drop out for personal reasons. So he's picking up where they left off. I believe they're 2-6 at the moment, something like that, or something along those lines. But they have a very threatening team. I will do my best to prepare, and hopefully we will bounce back from this loss. This is probably one of my better losses, so to speak. I mean, compared to the 6-0 and the 2-0 loss, this was what I like to call a convincing loss, if there's anything to take away from this, as I played pretty well up to the end game, which eventually did screw me over, as I was afraid of the Hitmonlee having the rock coverage, and I should have risked it, because at that point in the battle, if I couldn't be Hitmonlee, or if I couldn't be Hitmonlee, I lost to it. If I did be Hitmonlee, I lose to Scarf Darmanitan. So either way, I had nothing to lose but the match. So I should have risked it at the end. I should have been more aggressive, kept on the intensity. But props to Brutes, had a solid team. Good win for him. So we will bounce back. If you enjoyed the battle, feel free to hit the like button, but I assure you we will bounce back. But till the next time, my name is Anthony, aka Tone114, and I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Later.